Alright, so focus. Okay, what is up everyone? Welcome again to this video, and my name is Abram Papilaya. If you're new here, hi, welcome to this channel, welcome to this video. And today, as you guys can see by the title, that today we're gonna be making a so it's actually for my final test for philosophy class. We have to review this book, HOMODEUS, from this author, and yeah, we have to review this book. And me personally, I think that this book is really interesting because it's just the way it's presenting, not it's the way it's convey. It's really kind of mind-opening about a lot of things. And yeah, this is what we're gonna be doing today. I'm gonna give you my review and my own perspective about this book. So enough for the rambling. Let's continue. Okay, so HOMODEUS. This is actually the second book after this book from Sapiens, and then after the second is this HOMODEUS. And for my first impression about this book, I find it really mind-opening in the sense that it's really broadened my mind because it's about the projection about the future. So it's actually from the lens of Mr. Hirari. He wants to deliver that in the future what could possibly happen, and there's like a lot of things that would being projected that would happen in the future. And I would say that all of those things are really interesting, to know, because, and also it's being well said in this book, and we're gonna be exploring about that later. So, but something that worth mentioning is that, so it's HOMODEUS. It actually consists of two meanings. So the homo, it means like human, as well as for deus it means that God, right? It's from Greek, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry. So that's why that if we kind of think that this HOMODEUS is actually meaning that we as a human become like a god. But yeah, that's like what the author wants to deliver, through this book. It's a new information for me to know, and then it's actually about what could possibly happen, in the future. Because what do I mean by human is become like in some way they want to like God, because we kind of think that human, we as a humanity, we want to like be on the top of anything, right? It's like way before all of the civilization. We want to like be on the top of everything. We want to be on the top of like food chains, and what else, it's on the top of anything. And also in this book it's talk about this in general, like how the humanity want to be on the top of the world. Take an example, like how they would conquer this world, how we as a human want to conquer this world through technology. So that is it, like what we would face in the future. Probably we would face with technology, because from now we actually just face with something that has to do with kelaparan, perang, as well as with penyakit, disease. That is like all of those three things that we are facing right now, like in the present times. But in the future we don't know, right? So that is it, what the author wants to deliver through this book. In this book, it actually has three eras. So the first one is like present, the future, and also in the past. And then I feel like this book is actually relates with the previous one. So let's just throw back for a second. In Sapiens, we actually see like all of this humanity would thriving, right? We went through three revolutions, right? The first one is cognitive agriculture, as well as the last one is scientific. Well, in this last one, the scientific revolution, this is like, what do I mean by this kind of correlates with HOMODEUS, is that this scientific revolution, it has to do with this HOMODEUS, because it's like projected the future, right? It's like intertwined for each other. So that's why that I feel like it's really, so I feel like if you want to read this book, it's better. But if you want to just read this book right off the bat without even read the first book, that's okay too. So all right, let's just get into the book then. So if Sapiens talk about how the humanity was thriving, how the civilization through over time, it's different, however, in this book in HOMODEUS because it talks about the future. It illustrates all of the possibility that would happen in the future based on Mr. Hirari's perspective. So in this book, it actually talks about like from the broader scope to narrow scope. The question, however, it's kind of like this: what makes this era different from the past 100 years? What makes this era different from other eras that we have been through? So there are three issues that we have been continuously facing right now. So the first one is, let me just read it. The first one is kelaparan. The second one is penyakit, and the third one being perang, the war. Why do the right wants to include all of things? Because it actually has the fact. Let me just read it for you. So the fact is that I'm gonna use Indonesia. Many people die because of eat too much, then eat less. And also in 2010, it reports jumlah kelaparan terhitung sebesar 1 juta orang, 1 juta jiwa. Sedangkan obesitas itu bisa sampai 3 juta orang. Dan juga in penyakit, the fact is that many people die because of usia tua daripada meninggal karena penyakit. Many vaccine that we have right now is for cure disease that currently, circulating in this planet. And also the third one being the war. So this idea is kind of triggered me in some way because, I would say that it's interesting because the death, the mortality, is bigger than what we would expect. Like in reality is that many people die because of what we consume. Take an example like, fast food, KFC, McDonald's. Many people die because of that, be compared to war or terrorist. So I feel like that's really interesting, and this, something that can kill us is actually what we consume. Like, how about sugar? Probably people die because of that more compared of the war. So that's what I feel like. Probably sugar is the dangerous thing, that we have not discovered yet. So all of those issues that I've mentioned previously, it's actually what happened right now. What we had been through, like from the past through this era. So, but in this era, we actually know how to, cover this thing, right? If we have disease, then we would have the vaccine to cure all of these diseases, right? But also, that's like what we are facing right now. So again, what we would face in the future. If we can cover all of those things in the present times, then what could be something that, threatening us in the future, right? So since according to Mr. Hirari, we have so many, fiction already, we have like from the small ones, we have like the corporation, games, what else? Sport, all of those things. It's considered to be like fiction because we cannot, get the value, not the value. We couldn't see the benefits that we could get out of the thing. So that is it why it is considered to be fiction. We do have so many fiction already. So why do we keep creating this fiction, right? That's why we are advancing to something that could help us in the future. So that's why that we are advancing the technology, the science. In the future, probably we're gonna be facing about the, something that has to do with science, something that corresponds with, technology in the future. To give you an idea, probably we're gonna be facing about the algorithm, or it's about the technology, like the big corporation that want to misuse the data, and then it's just it's being used for other agenda. So probably that is the issues in the future. Probably we're gonna be wondering the function of religion, in society. What could we get the benefits from it? But this is according to Mr. Hirari. It's not about my opinion. I just want to, deliver what does this book say. And also probably we're gonna be facing with the software, because since all of this technology is growing even further, probably there would be some sort of algorithm, that would beat us in some way. Because take an example, like right now, we are kind of fully rely on software, tech. For instance, if on Instagram, let's say it has the feature, right, to like poll story, sort of confused whether you would choose this, then your followers could help you. That is it, that probably we're going to be facing with that. And also I don't know, probably we're gonna create some sort of artificial intelligence or AI, and then it could possibly replace the job opportunity of us, as a human. That is probably what the writer wants to deliver from this book. And also, as well as he's kind of mentioned that in the future, probably in 2050, we're gonna have some sort of facility that could regenerate us, the cells. So if in present times we're curing the disease, then in the future we're gonna focus on regenerating the cells, so we're gonna, I don't know, probably we could dodge from that, live forever in this planet. We don't even know. I don't even know. But that is something that really, intriguing to discuss. And also something that could be the problem for our generation in the future is that probably since the technology grow even further, we're gonna be probably the big corporation that has power. Probably they would create some sort of algorithm. They would create machine, and then it probably replace our job opportunity, because machine, they don't have a feelings. And then that's the plus. They don't have feelings, and then also they could do something. They could work for us without even tired. Just do whatever we want, whenever, wherever we want. So that's like probably it could be something that could be the issue, for our future in the next generation. Probably wondering that all of these things could possibly happen. It's really scary. Besides, we as a humanity, it's kind of being squished. We are not truly living because of the technology that we create. So that's why I personally think that's really scary. Like in the future, I don't have an idea that probably it could happen, But if you are not ready, then you're not alone. I am also not ready. But something that kind of triggered me is that it's everything that happened like in our ages, from this century, is that it changes, it's not changes like in the big scope, but it's actually gradually, it's like step by step. It's not like tomorrow it's going to like happen like massively, no, but it's actually thriving from one step into little step, and then it's like, and then eventually it would change massively. Yeah, I would say that just start from right now. We should be careful. We have to be careful about everything that we put on the internet, especially Facebook, I don't know, probably Google also, but I don't even know. But yeah, the thing is that we have to be more careful, because they could learn what we give, the data. And eventually they would start to learn all of, the thing that we like, and then probably it would kind of influence us to do something without we as a human that has this technology even realizing it, So it's like, it's really scary, but that is the reality that we live. And also the quote that I really like about, this book is that, let me just read for you because I don't memorize it. So. Okay, the quote is here. The quote is that people are afraid of change because they fear of the unknown. But the single greatest constant of history is that everything changes. So no matter what, again, if you are scared of something that would change, it would happen, but it's not like in the big scale, it's not like in the big scope, but it's actually gonna happen. Gradually it would happen, but it starts from now, and it would change, because the thing that happening through these ages, through these centuries, that everything changes. Whether you're ready or not, it changes. So that's why that I feel like it's real scary. Well, like in the future, I have no idea that. And also on the top of that, to be more specific, in this book, it classifies into 3 parts. So and for each part, it has like the the main core, the main message of. So the first one is, let me just read it. I'm sorry. The first one is Homo sapiens menaklukkan dunia. The second one being Homo sapiens memberi makna bagi dunia. And the last one is Homo sapiens kehilangan kendali. that is all that we're gonna be exploring for this second part. And let's just start with the first one, being Homo sapiens menaklukkan dunia. So the first part of this book, it actually talks about how the Homo sapiens conquered the world. So as you may have known that, we as a human, we like thriving from the very beginning, like we are kind of surviving, through each period of time, through each revolutions, like we are always surviving to live. And then until right now, it's actually based on this book, it actually says that we conquered the world, we are on the top of this world, we can do anything, but this is like based on this book. Also, we kind of like think that our mind is actually kind of more expand, in the sense that we kind of just see all of this world as a algorithm. So if you don't know what algorithm, it's more likely to so it's actually, if the reality that we live right now is a country, then the algorithm, it's actually the constitution. If the reality is negara, then the algorithm is the undang-undang dasar. So it's actually the kind of the rule that govern this country, this reality. So and also other instances, if you want to make a cake, then the algorithm is like the rest of the step of you are creating this cake. You are mixing this, mixing that. This like the algorithm. That is it what we want to learn. We kind of like think this world as a complex algorithm, and we want to conquer, by using the technology, we can learn the algorithm. What could I get from this part? In some way, we just want to be on the top of anything. Think that we are superpower. We could do anything with all of this technology. And also the mindset is that this uncomfortable for me, I would say, because it's kind of has to do with my religion. So it's actually says that the technology is everything. It could change us. Even like prayer, even like pray, it couldn't give us the solution, but tech is the solution. It's like, but it's based on this book. It's not my opinion, but it's just based on this book according to Mr. Hirari. Also, he claimed that there would be a biological weapon. At this present time, people would think that that's like a conspiracy theory, but it actually makes sense. We don't know, like in the future, if this could be happening or it's happening right now. We don't know, but this like makes sense according to Mr. Hirari. So that's it for the first part. It's actually we just kind of conquered the world, and we are learning the algorithm. We kind of see the world as an algorithm, and how do we learn this algorithm is that we are kind of advancing the technology that we have right now. So that is it for the first part. And also the second one is being Homo sapiens memberi makna bagi dunia. So it actually demonstrates that we that live in this world, it's actually, this world is like blank. It doesn't have a meaning, but we as a humanity, we kind of labeling this world. We give the meaning for the world that we live in right now. Take an example, like say that Pharaoh, right? Firaun. We kind of glorify by him, as well as even like until his death, we kind of always do whatever he wants, whatever he says, we always do that. It's actually, we kind of like glorify him as if he's a god, but it's actually he's not. And also, like, take an example, even like 90s decade, the singer Elvis Presley, we always glorify him. We always think that he means the world, for us. Like we even until right now in this century, in this era, 2020, we kind of the same mindset, the same system. We always think that we also glorify the singer. Take an example, like K-pop, what else, politician, as well as I don't know, private celebrity also. And yeah, I feel like it's kind of hard. It's still the same system. We always glorify, and we kind of just labeling this figure. We kind of just labeling, we kind of just give the meaning for this world. That is it, like what the author wants to say through this chapter. And even right now, since the technology grow grow even further, we as a human, we have the technology in our hands, right? We always, keep following all of the activity. It's most likely to kind of your desire is getting higher and higher because of the technology. Technology is kind of like helps this desiredness to always, praise all of those figures. So that's it. What Mr. Hirari wants to deliver through this chapter. Also, I'm really uncomfortable when he kind of like get touched on the religion because I don't know though. It's like it just makes me uncomfortable. When he talks about the religion. Yeah, it says that the religion is a part of fiction because we cannot feel it, right? But if technology, we could see it, we could we could hold it, we could it's not like it's real, we could see it, but it's religion, we cannot see it, this and that, all of that stuff. But yeah, I feel like the way I take it is that I just want to be more wiser if I do have but the way I take it is that I don't want to take all of those information in here necessarily because I do have my faith, so that's why I just kind of separate what the religion taught me and what this book says. So yeah, this is it. The second part is about Homo sapiens give the meaning for the world. And also now for the last part, what would possibly happen in the future is that, so the title is Homo sapiens kehilangan kendali. So we kind of just lose control in the sense that humanity will choose the technology over anything, over norm, over the rules. And then it's kind of, when we are advancing the technology, we give all of the data, right? All of the things, into the technology. And if we're too seriously advancing the technology, we could possibly become something catastrophic outcomes. Take an example. It could possibly learn all of those data that we give willingly, and then it would create some sort of probably algorithm, and then you would always learn about all of the data, and then could possibly know our feelings. It would know what the things that we like, what the things that we don't like, what the things that we would buy, what the things that we wouldn't buy, all of those stuff. It's actually kind of just go inside our interest, So that's why it's probably something that threatening us in the future based on this book, as well as also in the future probably we're gonna create some sort of place that could regenerate all of the cells in our body. So we could say that probably we could dodge from the death, but I don't know, based on this book it actually says like that. So all right, but aside from this regenerating all of the cells, at this point, at this part of this book, it actually says that all of the things that we are advancing right now, that we are developing right now, it could be the boomerang for ourselves. Because if you are too busy for creating this, all of the system, all of the technology, then it could possibly try to dominate us in some way, because it could misused for some people for different type of agendas, probably for politics agenda, we don't know, because we might not aware about the catastrophic outcome that could possibly happen, that could possibly fall upon us because of the technology. So I would say that should be more wise. And so it is it for this review. Personal opinion is that this book is good because it talks about all of the things that could possibly happen in the future from Mr. Hirari's perspective. So I feel like that's still cool to know at the least. And then side note, if you want to read this book, probably we should kind of separate what this book says and also what our religion says, because we do have faith. So take all of the information here, not necessarily I just want to take this as the lesson, as something new information for me to learn. I think that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm sorry if this video is kind of unstructured and probably is kind of boring because just talking about this book, but I hope that you could get something out of this video. And as again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.